And today we are going to speak with Heather Sinclair. Heather is an adventurer who is currently in Mexico, and she is the author of the book, The Only Way Out Is Through. So thank you for joining us today, Heather.
Thank you for inviting me over.
How is it in Mexico?
It's really fantastic. The weather is great. It's cheap. It's chill. I'm just in La Paz right now, which is my last stop in Baja before I take the ferry to Mazatlan and the mainland.
So what are you doing out there?
Yeah, so I'm in the middle of riding my motorcycle around the world. For this leg, I shipped into New York City, rode across the U.S., and I'm heading south. The plan is to make it all the way to the tip of Argentina.
Oh, wow. And this is for a book that you're writing?
I mean, it's for the adventure, and the book is just something that kind of comes out of whatever I was going to be doing anyway.
What sparked this?
It's been something that I had been thinking about for a long time. I hadn't really ridden motorcycles. Like, people in my family didn't ride motorcycles. I didn't have a boyfriend that rode motorcycles. I had picked up a scooter. I was already in my 30s. I was in LA. I didn't have a way to get around, so I just kind of had a little scooter to putt around. But that was pretty much it, right? And then the company I was working for at the time sent me to work in Bangalore, India for a while. And all my colleagues in the Bangalore office were mad about motorcycles, and they were like, you should come on a ride with us, we'll go up to your cod, it's one of the hill stations not far, you can borrow one of our motorbikes, it'll be great fun. And I'm like, sure, that sounds great. So my very first time riding a geared motorcycle on the road was in India. We had to set off at 4 a.m. to try to beat the traffic and also the heat. Long story short, I crashed my very first day. There was a bus coming around a blind corner. So I did what you do on a scooter when you want to stop, which is grab the front brakes, but a motorcycle works differently, of course.
Oh, no.
So I locked it pretty quickly. But in general, the whole experience of riding through India made me realize how, because motorcycles are a way that the average person gets around.
We're having a little bit of...
Right, they're not as fast other than their own two feet. Oh, no.
We're having a little bit of connectivity issues. You're kind of fading in and out there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We were doing so well for a while.
I know, it was going great, and then you got talking, and it was like all freezing and then picking up in weird spots.
Okay.
I really got that there was a bus coming around a blind turn, and then that's when things kind of got weird.
So I locked up the front wheel, went over the cars, scraped up the bike, scraped up my knee. I was okay at the end, got over my first crash, but what I realized in the experience, not the crashing, but the riding, was how great a way riding a motorcycle was to see a country like India, because it's the primary method of transportation that most people have in a lot of the world. So you get to be a part of the rhythm of life. When it's hot out, you're hot. When it's smelly, you smell it. When there's traffic, you're in it. So it was kind of planted the seed that I wanted to come back to India, but on my own motorbike. So kind of started with that one trip, and I just loved the lifestyle and the form of travel, and just kept going.
Fantastic. Now, I saw something in the description of your book that you had lost a job, and that's what kind of prompted some of this. Can you talk about that? Do you want to talk about that a little?
Yeah.
And we froze again.
Yeah. So I'm losing you right now. Oh no. No.
Well, the weather is beautiful and what?
The idea was planted. The weather is beautiful, the Wi-Fi is bad. Unfortunately, there's not much you could do about it, I think. Normally, I would turn off the video right now, but I don't know if that would ruin everything. So let's see how we get on.
Well, we'll do our best.
Yeah. So the seed of the idea got planted in India. It was quite a few years later, and I was kind of like, it's something I want to do, it's something I want to do. And then, I basically got paid a lot of money to go away from the job I was in. I'm under NDA, so I can't really talk about it, but I was just so angry about how everything had gone down, and I was just like, okay, screw it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to go on that big trip. So I bought a bike and put it in a crate and sent it off to Indonesia.
That was the first trip.
Yeah, that was the first trip across Asia. Yeah.
Just tell us about it. What was some of the amazing things that you saw? Most inspiring?
Oh, most inspiring. I think probably the most inspiring was how generous people were. People who had very little in life. You know, they would meet me and they'd be like, "Do you need a place to stay? Would you like some food?" You know, they'd offer me their homes for the night, not knowing anything other than that it was a dirty motorcycle hobo. And they were just, if I had problems, you know, there's always someone there to help in the end. And it was so amazing to see how great people were in parts of the world where they often don't have the best reputations, but I found that they were always so incredibly kind and so welcoming and such good people.
That's awesome. There had to have been some tribulations along the way. How many miles did you put on?
On that trip, that was 22,000 miles. So far, I've done in total, let's see, that would be about 40, I think I'm about up to 55,000 miles on a motorbike traveling around the world.
What are some of the obstacles you've encountered in these trips?
The first bike I had was awful. Like, it just broke down constantly. I was always having problems with the motorcycle. I mean, some of my greatest experiences was when I was broke down, because that's when I met great people. That was a problem. I got food poisoning 3 times. Twice in India. One was antibiotic resistant, so that took a while to get over. You know, sometimes it's so incredibly hot. You know, you're in India in summer and it's just absolutely melting. You always have, you know, traffic and bad roads and weather and, you know, mud and everything. It just kind of all comes together sometimes, and it's just like, sometimes it can be tough.
What was the first bike that you had?
I had a Suzuki DRZ 400. It was used and used very hard before I had it, and I only used it harder.
What do you ride now?
I have an AJP TR7. Right there.
Nice.
I'm sure most motorcycle people have never heard of this motorcycle. It's a very unusual motorcycle. It's a Portuguese manufactured bike, so it's a bit of a unicorn.
Interesting. I was thinking more along the lines Harley, Indian. I don't know why that's where my brain went. I feel like an Indian.
They're popular bikes.
I feel like the Indian is like that road trip bike.
I spent a lot of time off-road and on very bad roads, so you need to have something that's very capable of handling some pretty tough conditions, I would say.
Very nice. So, you know, you're just doing this for the sake of the adventure? I know your handle for Instagram is IMPROBABLYADVENTURING. Where does that stem from?
I think part of it is because I'm not what most people think about when they think about a motorcycle adventure. They don't usually think of a woman riding solo on what's considered a very small bike by a lot of motorcycle people. And also because I always have a way of getting myself into some rather unusual situations as I go on. So
can we hear about one?
There was the time I camped in no man's land between Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan with a bunch of Kyrgyz soldiers at 4,000 meter altitude. That was pretty weird. I don't think I can tell this story live yet, so this is what it's going to have to say for the future book.
Okay.
I've celebrated spring the arrival of autumn in Georgia, the country of Georgia, with a bunch of loggers. That was exciting. What else has happened? A lot of just really weird things all the time. I escorted a Bollywood star across India.
Okay.
So yeah, so strange stuff happens when you're on the road.
How did the loggers celebrate autumn?
With a whole lot of wine. Lots and lots and lots of wine. Georgia is kind of the birthplace of viticulture, and so they had these huge jugs full, like plastic jugs that large, and lots of fish and corn and stuff like that. And then there was singing and there was dancing. And,
It sounds
it was
awful.
pretty fun.
Why would anybody want to do this?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book that you have out currently?
Yeah, so that's the story of my first trip from Indonesia back to the UK, and broadly it's about how different the reality was from kind of what I thought it was, and about some of those insane situations you end up with, and a lot of the
There we go again.
challenges. In the end, there's always a solution to the problem, but sometimes it's not always obvious. So I wanted to give a picture of the reality of what it was like. I wrote this book in the second lockdown in the UK. I was kind of thinking of writing a book, but then ended up living in a caravan for 5 months. There's nothing to do, so I decided to write it. And I was really happy with it that I did, and I'm really happy with how it came out, because I think it is a picture of what really happened.
Interesting. Has COVID slowed you down at all? Your plans?
Oh yeah, I got stuck in Morocco, where they closed the borders for 5 months, super strict lockdown for 3.5 months, like illegal to go outside on what kind of lockdown. So was there for quite a long time. Then they finally opened the borders, but not the way I was heading towards. I was heading towards Mauritania, so I had to backtrack to France. Then summer ended, Europe started going into lockdown, Brexit happened, had to go back to the UK, and then the UK goes into another lockdown. Didn't have a house at the time, I was renting it out, so I was living in a caravan or a trailer on a farm in Cambridgeshire. Wouldn't necessarily recommend living in a caravan in Britain in the winter. It's pretty wet, pretty cold, but it gave you a lot of time, a lot of long walks and writing a book.
Have you read The Art and Zen of Motorcycle Maintenance?
No, it's one of those ones that I keep needing to read, and then I've got this ridiculous Kindle backlog, and so I was just like,
I've not read it myself. My husband references it all of the time, and when Gary told me about you and I started doing a little digging, I was like, I just feel like this they go, they're aligned. So I might have to check it out now, finally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so what inspires you? What has gotten you to this point to just say, screw it, I'm doing it? Was it, the turmoil surrounding that other job that I know you can't talk much about? I won't ask specifically.
So I guess in terms of what inspires me, I'm inspired so much by adventurers that are doing crazy things with very little. Like, it's not the ones with huge sponsors and massive vehicles and tons of money that they have thrown at the problem. It's the guy riding a Honda Super Cub scooter around the world. It's people who are literally walking around the world without taking a boat, like crossing the Bering Sea by foot. It's cyclists. I see cyclists out taking the Pamir Highway in Tajikistan. I'm thinking, this is really hard. Climbing a hill in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, geez, that's hard work. And I just think, wow, it's just so amazing what people are capable of doing and what people are doing right around.
And we're frozen.
Around the world. They're driven to do it.
Yeah, I give those people and yourself so much credit. I do not have that side of adventure. My idea of adventure is not nearly that exciting. I don't sleep on the ground.
Yeah, it probably involves a lot more showers.
Oh yeah. I don't do well without showers. The last time that we even tried camping, it rained for 2 days and there was an inch of water in the tent, and I was like, never again, never ever again.
Yeah.
That was like 2 days and I was over it. So one of the reasons that I do this fearless female thing is, you know, I love to be able to shine a spotlight on someone that I think is doing something amazing, because I think there needs to be more knowledge out there that, you know, there are people doing these amazing things. And also my hope is that there's somebody that's going to watch them and be inspired to take a next step that they've been thinking about. So if we were to be talking to those people directly, the adventurers in waiting, I guess we'll say, what kind of advice would you have for them to be able to take that next step, to find that push, and then once they get there, to keep pushing? Oh, hold on. There you go. You're back.
Yeah, we were breaking up the love clear. I'd say one, the world is a much more amazing and much less scary place than what people might tell you. I'm in Mexico right now. There's a lot of people that would say, don't ride in Mexico, it's dangerous. I've had a absolutely fantastic experience, and it's on so many people's doorstep. And the second one is that crossing a continent or doing a long thing like that is really just a matter of, if you could do it for a week, you could do it for a weekend, you could do the whole thing. Like, it's just, you pack up the bike, you ride all day, you stop, you do it again, you stitch up enough days in a row of doing it, and you've accomplished the thing.
That's awesome. Have you found yourself scared at any point in time?
Oh yeah. In parts of India, they're really big on staring. I would stop for
Staring?
a samosa and some staring. Yeah, just staring.
Interesting.
It's a bit disconcerting.
I imagine it would be. Like, I think about, you know, are you still there? There you are. I think about like the hubbub of New York City, where it's just, there's all these people and everybody's just kind of like head down on the subway, not paying any attention. So I think the opposite of that, if somebody just staring, would be very alarming. But I mean, it doesn't sound like it was life-threatening scary. So at least there's that. Well, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was really awesome to hear about your adventures. How much longer do you have on this trip, do you think? And do you have the next one planned?
It's going to be a bit more than a year for this one, because I got to time these seasons to get to the bottom of Argentina. And the dream is still to go back to Africa. Right now, it's not possible to cross the whole way through, but I hope by the time I'm done with this one, they'll be able to do Africa.
And why can't you at this time?
Border closures.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, we're ramping up again in some areas. So, you know, it's all part of the challenge, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
All part of the adventure.
And you have political instability that's not even pandemic related, and the world changes so fast, so you really have to see it when you have the opportunity, because it might be taken away.
Yeah, absolutely. A whole lot of carpe diem there, right?
Yep.
Well, fantastic. All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope that this inspires some adventurers to take that step, cross that globe. It's amazing. I won't be one of them, but I will watch from afar and I will admire from the warmth and comfort of my home. And your book is available on Amazon?
Yep, that's correct.
Fantastic. We'll have some links posted up there for that. It's called The Only Way Out Is Through. Correct?
Yep.
And we will keep following your adventures and see where this takes you. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, great. Thank you for having me.
We'll talk again soon.
Yep.